Yolan True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another Let's Play. And as promised, together today we need to work on my new shipyard, the shipyard level 68, because that will mean that I finally can build the faction miners. But to do that, after all the time I needed for other buildings and all the latinum I spent on speeding up buildings, etc., that I need to go to the mirror universe. And it is a little bit more difficult with the stability of the game on iOS since they did their mid-month patch. So I don't want to do stability rants in every Let's Play, but even at the beginning of the next Let's Play, it's just crashing. What do you expect me to do? But nevertheless, I've got 4 days and I guess 15 or 14 hours left on my shipyard. So we need to do the tour into Mirror Universe. Unfortunately, it still is the step-by-step stuff. I would love if you would just click the end system, and then Scopely would just list kind of the amount you have to pay for it. You know, there are these different rift keys that you have to pay to get to the diverse systems. And if they just would combine that, you just click on that system, pay the full price with the different rift keys, and the ship would automatically go there. It would be much less annoying, because the travel there is annoying. We sometimes have a bug there with the traveling. That is one of those bugs that exactly knows when I'm filming, so it shows up more often when I'm not filming than when I'm filming. But maybe we're gonna see one of those. That will be interesting. It's always when I get to the rift. So when my ship finally arrived in the circle, then it tells me you have to be in the circle to use the rift. A lot of you will know that bug, but that's an annoying one as well. So I would really like the travel here to be easier. It might have been fun in the very beginning because you had to earn the rift keys and everything, but a time after you pass that level, you know, the 40s and 45s, when you get tons of new content, it might be interesting for a short while, but after that it's only annoying that you have to do this travel. They always talk about quality of life improvements. Why not improve the quality of my life by just making it one click, one pay, and the ship goes there? Of course, as long as it does have the warp range, as long as you do have the rift keys, the different rift keys to pay for it. You see that this is a different one where you need the uncommon rift keys, the other one with the common ones, then there are others as well. But if you have that stuff, why can't the ship just be taken there? Because it also takes time away from my time I can spend in the mirror universe. And you see, I have to go to Romulus to hunt the level 70 faction miners here, and how many steps that needs to get there. And I'm already here kind of for minutes, and overall I have about 28 minutes or something, or 29 minutes, and now we are 26 already just for the travel time, and that's so annoying. When I go in there with my speed crew, it's not a problem anyway, time-wise. But this time I chose my mirror battle crew. Okay, this one worked as well, so no bug this time in this video, only the crash in the beginning. I picked this crew in the hope that I wouldn't see somebody else in here. From time to time I have the good thing that I'm alone in Romulus, in Mirror Romulus, and then it's quite easy just to use the Kirshara, program all the hostiles, wishing that the game doesn't crash because the Kirshara would be deleted again. And then I would just let my ship do what it does. And while it's flying around, when I'm alone there, I could take some time to check my emails and stuff like that. I get loads of emails every day as well, because as you all meanwhile know, I'm also a voluntary politician on the local level here. So they are not paid politicians, they're volunteers. And then I can check emails in between because my playtime is limited by all the voluntary stuff I do. Also, the vice president of the Carnival Club and stuff like that. There's always a lot to do. And when everything works here and I'm alone, I can check my emails and stuff like that in between after programming the Kirshara for once. Then there's about 18, 19 hostiles in the list. And that gives me a little bit of time before I have to program again. But if there's another player, like now in here, I usually would take the speed crew. So if I have time to spend time here a bit longer, I would just do one a little bit more annoying tour with a battle crew. And then the next time I would take my speed crew, knowing that there's another player, because otherwise I have to program so much here, and it's harder to get the number of hostiles in the now 26 minutes that I can spend here. My ship with my combat crew, which I can show you for a second, is Strange New Worlds Pike, Strange New Worlds Sam Kirk, and Strange New Worlds Hammer, who's the specialist for survey ships. That's why he's my best choice for a combat crew here in Romulus for these Romulan Republic miners and the others as well. Usually only Romulans now. It's Romulus, of course. In other systems there are others as well, but in Romulus is Romulan Republic miners. Hammer is the best bridge officer to do that, and the combination with Pike, with Sam Kirk and Hammer keeps my cube alive for the whole 30 minutes max that I can spend here. And that's why I get the most chests to exchange later on when I'm alone in the system and when I'm using my Pike crew. But as I said, if there's another player like that 69 now, who is that, by the way? That's Peace. Not very peaceful, shooting hostiles. That means I would just take the speed crew, so in a shorter time I can get more hostiles. I would explode earlier, but it wouldn't be that annoying that I have to program so much because hostiles are shot down. The ship is moving slower now, of course, with the Pike crew. And with the speed crew, I can get more hostiles in a shorter time because I do need the 100 chests here for one exchange at least to get some proper speed ups. The speed ups are another thing here. You get Sigma speed ups here. You get 15-hour Sigma speed ups here if you kill enough hostiles. But I really had bad luck recently with those Sigma speed ups. There are times when I kill enough hostiles for an exchange of 100 chests, and then I got 8 15-hour speed ups in the last days. The majority of the exchanges I did were 2 15-hour speed ups for 100 hostiles, and that's not so much fun because this is quite an annoying grind, and you don't want to do this all the time, but because of my lack of Latinum, I have to do this a lot, and I even have to take care after I got the 4 days, 14 hours of speed ups for my shipyard. I also need to have a look at how long does it take to build the new ships then, because I can build all 3 Shipyard 68 faction miners, and I will build all 3 of them. Upgrading, of course, and leveling is a different topic, but I will build all 3 of them. I can build all 3 of them. And there's another crash. And I already got the gold skins for all 3 ships already. So, of course, I want to have them all. And in case of the next incursion, for example, for the next long-range raid, I made the videos about the skins and explained that. I have a little fleet of ships I can send there to raid bases on a long range. So I'm looking forward to that. But I don't know how long it takes to build them, and without having Latinum to speed up Sigma builds, that is something where I have to spend a lot of time here in the mirror universe, and maybe in between on my desktop, so it doesn't force me to reprogram the Kirshara that often, because the game crashes. But on my desktop I cannot film with you, so when I want to do videos for you, we will have to do it on iOS, and iOS is, or let's put it that way, Scopely is not a friend of iOS, because that's not working that well. Don't know what happened to Android after the mid-month patch, but on iOS, on all my iOS devices, the mid-month patch made sure that the game crashes more often. So it's not fun. And my iPad is not the oldest, so it's just one number behind the latest one. It's just a normal iPad. It's not something mega fancy, but I'm not spending €1,000 on a device just for one game. I said this on my main channel several times, because everything else is working here. There's enough, space on this thing, so this cannot be the issue as well, even though the game is quite big with almost 30 gigabytes now for one game. But still, everything else is running so smoothly here. Yeah, I just don't get it. Nevertheless, we are already at 41 chests at least. With my speed crew, I would get to about 50 chests here, just quicker than with a combat crew. But with a combat crew, I can get quite in the range of 100 and more chests in one stay if there are no other players, and because I can spend my full time in here until it automatically kicks me out. The cube with a speed crew, a T15 cube with a speed crew, will be destroyed during the time that I'm in here. I cannot stay the full 26 something minutes in here with a speed crew. That wouldn't work. But the combat crew can. And the combat crew I use, although it's much slower just for the durability. But the next round I will have to do today will definitely be with the speed crew, because I did a very early round this morning before I could do dailies or whatever. It was before 6 o'clock this morning. They already did one round before I had to have breakfast and get ready to go to the doctors, etc. And there I was alone. So it was a really comfy thing to do that here with my combat crew. No one was interfering. I didn't have to program that much because the combat crew is flying slower. So it takes time until there are many not programmed hostiles. You see, when now there are 2 players flying, I'm programming the whole time. But when I'm alone, it takes time until I have to reprogram, and so it's also a bit more comfortable to do that. And is he gone? It seems that he exploded. I hope he won't come back that quickly, because that would make my life much easier here. Now we reach the 50 chests. That's what I would have done with my speed crew, but we still have 16 minutes left, and that should get me into the area of more than 100 chests, I guess, if he doesn't come back. So the peace. Don't know if he means double piece or a piece of peace. It was written as double piece, I know, but maybe a spelling mistake, and he just wants a piece of peace. That's why he's still hunting hostiles. Yeah, but that's fun. By the way, the reputation I get here, you see 1 million each for each faction, is just in German we would say it's just a water drop on a hot stone compared to the reputation I have to build up for the next reputation level. So that is absolutely not interesting for me. That's the reason, for example, why I'm usually not going in here with the loot crew. The loot crew brings reputation, but doesn't change the chests. So I don't care about that one. So I'm not going in with loot crews at the moment. If I'm hunting reputation, of course, for an event or whatever, I would go in here neither with a speed crew nor with a combat crew. Then I really would use my my loot crew with Enterprise E Picard, with Rachel Garrett, and with 5 of 11. And of course with the Admiral below deck, and with Bircher Calra, with the Doctor, and I think I forgot Gallinar. And so to max the reputation I can get out of here. But my goal at the moment really only is to get the chests, and to get as many chests as possible to speed up, first of all, my shipyard, and then speed up the building of my new survey ships. But it really seems that he, at least so far, has not come back. And that makes it less stressful with the programming, at least. By the way, I'm quite interested, and I have a number of viewers that are playing this game for the first time. I know that, and I have viewers that recently started playing the game, so they probably will never have been in the Mirror Universe. But if you want to know and learn something about the Mirror Universe, of course, on the main channel, there are videos on that, about the travel here. There's videos about the refinery, how to get those rift keys you need to travel here. Of course, there you should go if you want information on this one. But while I have the luxury of being here alone, and the programming is a bit easier, I can do another little advertising. So if you know people in your alliance and know people on your server that might be interested in a different kind of video, so not the short explanation videos, but a bit longer ones where you can just join me on the tasks that I have to do. And you see, some are dictated by the situation I'm in my progress, for example, right now. Then please tell them that this new channel exists. It's always hard to get the information out to the people that there is a new channel like this. And I would be very happy if you would help me grow this channel just by spreading the word. And if people are there that are interested, please give them a link to the channel or to one of the videos they might be interested in. That would be a really big help for me, and I would really appreciate that. And of course, if you are watching and have not subscribed yourself yet, then please do so as well, so that you will also be part of this little side community, so to speak. It's quite interesting. The taste of the people is different. As you probably already know, this all started because some of my German viewers, besides the short explanation videos, wanted to see what I'm doing there. They wanted to have Let's Play videos, and that's why I started with that in German. And in the end, I said it's not fair just to do that for them. And so I also started this one for everybody else who's not from, let's say, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, where are people that do understand German. And so I did that too. We are now at video number 7, so it will take a time until you get more and more suggestions about this channel, because you need quite a number of videos before it automatically will be suggested. But there's also a page YouTube created, kind of a profile YouTube created for Star Trek Fleet Command. If you watched a video on desktop, then usually below that should be Explore Star Trek Fleet Command, the game. And if you go there, you see the videos from a number of creators there. The fun thing always is for me, there's one section with the newest videos. And if you click Show All, you get a long list of videos that have recently come out. But the most funny part there for me always is the English ones are always on top, including mine, and the German ones, and sometimes other languages, are always on the bottom. Even if they have more views, if they are newer, they are on the bottom, and the English ones on top. I don't know if it is because of the setting of my channel. Some of my channels, studio-wise, are set in English, some are in German. Because of my audience, I usually do that. But maybe it shows me that because of the setting of my channel. But it's always amusing for me to see even the more successful videos are, and the newer ones are lower just because they're not in English. I don't know if you see the same if you open it, because it's often, of course, based on your behavior, etc. But that's really interesting for me. And there you see the 4 different designs. Oh, he's back. So it gets a little bit harder again because Peace is back. That's why I had to program so many more suddenly. I think he's got a speed crew on it. Let's check it, because it was quite fast, or it was a bug. No, he's got a speed crew combination with Hammer. Yeah. I only do the full Hammer or the full speed crew. I don't do compromises. That happens if you're a gull or a ghoul, however you want to pronounce the Cardassian rank in the English in your area. It's also funny sometimes that I get comments about my English. You all know I'm not a native English speaker, but that sometimes I say something and then someone from the American continent says no, it's pronounced differently, and someone from Britain says no, it's pronounced that way. That's the old tomato, potato thing sometimes. Of course, I do genuine mistakes, but still, there's sometimes this old tomato discussion with Americans. I learned a lot of American English from TV because I watched a lot of series and stuff in the original, but at the same time, I've lived in the UK for a couple of years, and so of course I know British English. I don't sound like that. I know that. For that, I'm home far too long, and even when I was living in the UK, and of course my English was better at the time when you really lived somewhere. Some older people always ask me if I'm American, but so it's really fun to see how my English developed after returning to Germany, and the discussions between British and Americans in the comments sometimes about language. Not only on STFC channels, but also on other channels. I have other channels in English as well, and much older channels, and the discussions are always fun. But you see, I'm still alive, and my cube is very much alive. As you can see, look at the damage that my cube has, and look at remember the damage that Peace had with his combination crew when we looked at him the last time. So the cube is quite durable with the Pike crew here, and the time is now down to 6 minutes. So I definitely will survive the next 6 minutes with this hull. The question in this case always only is, will my nerves survive this stupid grinding? I'm so looking forward to that day when my Dauntless is leveled enough to be sent to Romulus and for 30 minutes hunting these hostiles on its own. That's why the idea of the Dauntless is great. unfortunately for my use, that's why I said in my Dauntless video, it really makes sense for people who are now in the 40s levels, and just have reached the levels where you can have the Dauntless. That really makes sense because it will grow with you. I'm far ahead of the Dauntless now and cannot use it for what I really would need it for, like grinding here in Romulus to save my nerves and to be a real quality of life savior for me. But that would be really nice to have my Dauntless on a high level, flying in Romulus, hunting these Romulan Republic miners on its own, on the Seek and Destroy, 4 times a day. Oh, that would be nice. But it's just a distant dream. But there you see, some of the ideas Scopely has really make sense. But as I said, if the Dauntless grows with you, if you are level 45 now, then it really makes sense. For me, it will be much, much, much harder because I will not pay money to upgrade that thing, to have it on a level where it really makes sense for me, or to know that it makes sense for me. I had a good use for it when we had these Ascendancy events now, where we had to kill level 45 plus FKR hostiles, for example. There I could just put the Dauntless into a Romulan system, level 46, and have that thing grind away the FKR hostiles without me needing to do that on my own. That was nice. So that was making my life easier a little bit already. And I would love that here for Mirror Romulus and those really tough freighters here. If anyone's watching who upgraded his Dauntless like crazy, I mean, you could if you bought the packs, and some people definitely did looking at the rankings. So let me know how far it gets for you now. Where can you send it? It should be working in Mirror Universe again, at least after what Scopely said, after their patches. So let me know if it's working for you now and how well it's working for you. And are you able to send that thing to Romulus to make your life much easier and that you don't have to do what I'm doing here right now? I'm really interested to hear about that one, because that would be fun if I could do that. So we are reaching the 100 chests now. As I said, with my combat crew, the ship is just slower. If I wouldn't have used the Kirshara, if I really always would have looked manually for the closest hostile next to me, of course, then I would have more than the 100 chests here. It's because it's a time thing, it's not a hull thing. But still, that would be more annoying, and I usually, as I said, program the Kirshara, and if I'm alone, do something of my work on the side and just let the ship fly around against 18 hostiles or whatever, and because usually it's 18 that show up here, if I remember correctly from programming, and then would be much easier. But we have a visitor here, and I'm still programming because that's a habit now. This hostile programming will become a habit. If you have the Kirshara, which is now available via the tournament shop, so if you get the rewards from the tournament and your alliance is a bit busy with the tournament, so that you have the levels that unlocked all the rewards in the tournament shop, then you can get the Kirshara, can fully upgrade the Kirshara. That's what I did. I bought it at the time when it was brand new, so that you could decide, is it worth it? At that time it was a catastrophe, and I think a lot of people haven't bought it at the time because of that video. I heard as much. But nowadays it's working a bit better, as you can see, and you can get it via the tournament shop, and fully upgraded it via the tournament shop, which I did. That's why I can program 24 hostiles now. Yeah, it's 16th now, and it's working much better nowadays, as you also can see. So, and how much time do we have left? Oh, another 25 seconds, and after that we will open the boxes, and you and me together can check how many speedups have I gotten from this flight this time. It will automatically kick me out of the system when the time is over, which is in 2 seconds. And then we can check the chests. First I recall the cube. I need to repair it anyway. And then now I got 106 chests. And let's see. Keep your fingers crossed for my 15-hour speed ups. That's the repair speed ups. Repair speed ups. Yeah, 4 times the 15-hour speed ups is okay. Many times this week I only got 2 of them, so I'm happy about 4. But I also had occasions where from 100 chests I got 6, 8. That was much nicer. But that's 60 hours of speed up. That's fine for one trip. So let's see how much time we can take off my shipyard again. We're down to 2 days and 1 hour. So later on today, I will need to put some more work in. But now I first have to edit some Let's Plays for the next days. And that's it for this Let's Play for today. But as I said before, if you have something that you would like to see, some of the tasks I regularly have to do, or maybe some events that regularly come up where you want to see how I'm getting along with these, then just write in the comments below the video and on Discord. And don't forget to join my Discord as well, by the way. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.